We start out looking at the concept of direct variation. And typically you'll see the language used. The language you'll see used is in bold, where it talks about a certain variable varying directly as the other variable or with the other variable X. So when you hear that, your direct understanding is that there's some sort of proportional relationship between the two variables. The proportionality is represented by a constant, which we often refer to as the constant K. We call that the constant of proportionality, or the variation constant. So you'll see in the example just below here, we have a situation where we have two variables, the variable P and the variable X. And the variable P varies directly with the variable X. P representing the perimeter and X being the side length. And this situation basically says that the variable P is equal to K times X, where K is going to be equal to 4. And you can prove that just by looking at all of the individual scenarios. So if you take the first one, 4 divided by 1, or 8 divided by 2, or 12 divided by 3, and so on, in each case, the result is 4, giving us our proportionality constant. And you could state that P is equal to 4 times K. So this first example states that the distance sound travels varies directly as the time it travels. So we have our situation where we know, and we will call this D to represent distance. And we know we have our proportionality constant, or our variation constant, K times, and in this case, I will use T to represent time, but you could always use X. And to establish what that constant is, we need to take what is the dependent variable, which in this case is the distance sound travels, and divide it by our independent variable, the time it travels. So we can say that if we were to divide this, we would get a result of 335 meters per second. That's our proportionality constant. So then we can say that D is equal to 335 times T. So now it says find the distance sound will travel in 5 seconds. So now we just substitute 5 to get the result that the distance sound travels is 1,675 meters. And that's our first example, direct variation.